Good morning, everyone. Good morning and good morning. Welcome to the 64th Annual Rural Life Conference with our Dean, Dr. Dozie Y. Butler, presiding. Dr. Butler, please come forward.
If you want 1 year of prosperity, grow grain. If you want 10 years of prosperity, grow trees. If you want 100 years of prosperity, grow people. Good morning. Chancellor Alexander, Dr. Glover, Senator Flowers, and other guests on the platform, to any elected officials that might be in the audience, to Mrs. Davis Slay, if she's here already, to colleagues and friends. It is my privilege to welcome you on behalf of the faculty, staff, and students in the School of Agriculture, Fisheries, and Human Sciences on the campus of the University of Arkansas at Pine Bluff. The first Rural Life Conference was held in 1950, initiated by Professor Simon Alexander Haley, who was Director of Agriculture at AM&N. 15 people attended. Those 15 individuals grew and they prospered. After a few years, Dr. Sellers J. Parker became chair of the conference, and in 1955, the format was expanded and the conference became an annual event. The original objectives of the conference are still relevant today: to help Arkansas citizens improve their quality of life through education and collaboration. This year's conference will be educational, enlightening, and entertaining. Launching from the theme, Vision 2020, empowering communities through education, research, and extension, the conference workshops, presentations, and posters will empower participants to use new methodologies to address existing challenges. By faithfully fulfilling our tripartite mission of teaching, research, and outreach, the School of Agriculture, Fisheries, and Human Sciences is positively impacting Pine Bluff, the Delta, the state, and the world. The presentations you are about to enjoy are only a snapshot of the many programs and projects we are currently undertaking in the school. Again, it is my pleasure to welcome you to the 64th Annual Rural Life Conference. The opening session will proceed as printed in this beautiful keepsake program booklet. Please refer to page 8 for the opening session information and to page 17 for the luncheon session. Dr. Alexander, will you please come forward to bring greetings on behalf of the university? Thank you.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Welcome to the 2020 Annual Rural Life Conference. It is with great pleasure that we express our sincere gratitude to each of you for joining us today and for participating in this year's conference. We are especially pleased today to have with us, who will be speaking today, our state senator from the state of Arkansas, Senator Stephanie Flowers. We are pleased as well to have with us Mr. John Glover. He's the Implementation and Stewardship Branch Chief of the Natural Resources and Conservation Service, Easement Programs Division. Is he here? I wanted to, no, he's not in the room. Okay, we'll catch him later. Oh, yep, okay. And Dr. Jacqueline Davis Slay, who will be here later, the Deputy Director, USDA Office of Partnership and Public Engagement. So pleased to have them join us for this conference. As Dean Butler has said, this conference is initiated by the late Professor Simon A. Haley, Director of Agriculture, The conference has been a part of the University of Arkansas at Pine Bluff for more than 60 years, providing beneficial information that will contribute to the improvement of our communities, our state, and our nation. The theme this year catches my attention because it is empowering communities through education, research, and extension. This is core to our mission and near and dear to our hearts. As UAPB is an 1890 land-grant university, it is a part of our land-grant mission. UAPB being one of only 2 land-grant universities in the state of Arkansas, the other being the University of Arkansas Fayetteville, we are proud of our land-grant designation, and we are proud to carry it out with our partners throughout the state at conferences such as this one. Because of the vested interest we have of our students, our faculty, and our staff, our stakeholders, and our community supporters, in collaboration with agricultural, education, and service agencies across the state and nation, we can continue to share information that is relative to agricultural production, family and farm management, enterprise development, and other related subjects. Through our collective endeavors, partnerships, and resources, we are able to provide opportunities that will further enhance the development and empower rural Arkansas through the Rural Arkansas Conference. Again, we appreciate your support in being here today, and we hope that you have a pleasant and enjoyable experience. Thank you.
Good morning. Good morning. Before I begin the meditation, well, actually it's part of the meditation, I would like everyone to stand up. I want you to slowly breathe in and breathe out. And I want you to breathe in and breathe out again and think, I am spirit and I am light. I will do what is right. Walking in the divine purpose and plan for my life. You may be seated. Giving honor to those whom honor is due here on the dais and any officials in the audience. Greetings to all of you. My name is not important, for I'm called different things by different people depending on my role in their lives, just as you are, according to our relationship to them. I've been a daughter, sister, granddaughter, cousin, friend, teacher, auntie, translator, tia, suegra, teacher, mom, facilitator, instigator, collaborator, rationalizer, empowerer, comforter, leader, and sojourner. I wanted you to close your eyes and meditate on who you are. Where did you come from? Who are you? Why are you here? What is your role? Will your presence here encourage someone to dig deeper, to work harder? Will you be a leader or challenge someone else to lead? Will you forge a new collaboration? Dare I say, a new friendship? Will you stay within your circle or branch out and sit next to someone you don't know? Read a research poster or attend a workshop on something that's out of your immediate area of interest. Why are you here? Your body will remind you to feed itself, but we have to remember to feed our mind and feed our spirit. In 4-H, we have equal training of the head, heart, hands, and health. The head is trained to think, to plan, and to reason. The heart is trained to be kind, truthful, and sympathetic. The health is trained to enjoy life, resist disease, and make for efficiency. And the 4-H motto is to make the best better. As your eyes are closed, I want you to take the next 30 seconds and think, meditate on how you can make someone's day and make this world better. I say, and amen, go forward and conquer the day.
Good morning. Senator Flowers represents District 25, which includes parts of Pine Bluff and Jefferson County, as well as parts of Arkansas, DeShay, Lincoln, Monroe, and Phillip counties. An attorney, she is vice chair of the Senate Judiciary Committee, Claims Committee, and the Litigation Reports Oversight Subcommittee. Senator Flowers is a member of several other committees, including Senate City, County, Local Affairs, Senate Children and Youth Committee, Joint Energy and Joint Budget Committee, and the Legislative Council. Senator Flowers has sponsored legislation to foster community support for public schools. In 2013, Act 1507 helped to expand the ability of schools to hold events. She sponsored Act 1002 in 2011 and Act 1423 in 2013 to make parental involvement plans more user-friendly and efficient. One of Senator Flowers' priorities is to expand and improve reentry training of inmates to help them better prepare for productive life outside of prison. She has been instrumental in setting up a program in which probationers and parolees work to clear away condemned properties. Senator Flowers is a graduate of Philander Smith College in Little Rock and the Thurgood Marshall School of Law at Texas Southern University in Houston. She is a member of the African Methodist Episcopal Church and has one son. I present the Honorable Stephanie Flowers.
I want to thank the choir. Hahana for do today. How are you doing today? Good morning. I'm so glad to be here today with you. I want to thank Chancellor Alexander, Dr. Deb, Dean Butler, Dr. Martin for the introduction. I want to thank Dr. Glover back there, who I hadn't seen in a long time, Tiki, and the other persons that joined on the stage. And to all of you, thank you for allowing me to come and be your speaker today. I want to thank Dr. Wheat too. I haven't seen her, but there she is. Not long ago, about a month or so ago, I was invited over to Lakeview in Phillips County, that's part of my Senate district, to speak at the 42nd Founders Day of the Lakeview Ladies Fire Auxiliary Incorporated. And their theme was knowledge is power. So as I thought about coming today to speak to you at this 64th Rural Life Conference, and in keeping with your theme, Vision 2020, Empowering Communities Through Education, Research, and Extension, I thought it would be appropriate to continue with that knowledge is power phrase. The phrase knowledge is power is true in every field of human endeavor. It's certainly true in politics, which is why political candidates pay so much for polling data. You don't win elections if you don't target the right demographic. And you don't stay in office unless you pay attention to the concerns of your constituents, because knowledge is power. It's true in warfare. The country that knows how to build bombs and rockets will usually prevail. Even countries like the United States, with its vast military machine, spends enormous sums of money on espionage, because knowledge is power. It's true in business. It's the reason corporations have entire departments dedicated to marketing, advertising, and consumer research. Like politicians, business persons conduct polls and focus groups. Nowadays, if you take your car to the dealer for an oil change, they want you to take the time to fill out an opinion survey, because knowledge is power. They want to know where to target their advertising, so they want your phone number and your email address. It's true in law enforcement. The police use all the modern technology they can afford: DNA profiles, fingerprinting kits, blood analysis, and video surveillance cameras. Of course, criminals do too. According to the U.S. Justice Department, El Chapo, the drug kingpin, didn't just rely on planes, trucks, boats, and tunnels to smuggle drugs into the U.S. He used modern communications technology. Here is a direct quote from the Justice Department's Office of Public Affairs. Guzman Loero, El Chapo, also utilized a sophisticated encrypted communications network to operate the global narcotics trafficking operation. As an information technology engineer testified at trial, Guzman Loero paid him $1 million to purchase and set up a network to enable the defendant to communicate via the internet with his drug trafficking associates in Colombia, Ecuador, Canada, and the US, without fear of being intercepted by law enforcement or his rivals. The witness devised a secret and secure system consisting of encrypted cell phones and encrypted apps. End of quote. Why? Because knowledge is power. Choose any industry, and you'll see evidence that knowledge is power. Farming and agribusiness are no different. In fact, some of the most sophisticated modern technology of our time is being developed in our agricultural colleges, such as the UAPB School of Agriculture, Fisheries, and Human Sciences. Practical applications of sophisticated technology are being perfected on farms, fields, and forests. If you want to raise catfish or bait fish, you need to know your aquaculture. Arkansas was the birthplace of warm water aquaculture. That happened in the 1940s, when they simply called it a fish farm. Whatever you call it, the fact remains that knowledge is power. You need to keep the oxygen levels correct. Your stock must be well adapted, which means you rely on genetics. If you're a row crop farmer, it takes knowledge to operate and maintain the incredibly complicated machinery being used today. You can save energy and water if you level your field using laser beams. That technology has been around for years. It's your father's Oldsmobile. Robots and drones are revolutionizing row crop farming. Think of how much you can save in spraying pesticides if a drone has mapped your fields and you know exactly where the weeds and grass are growing. Surgeons use robots for many procedures. Robotic surgery is becoming routine for your heart, your knees, your large and small intestines, and your prostate glands. If a man will trust a robot to do surgery on his prostate gland, he will certainly trust a robot to feed the chickens. After you have mastered the modern technology required in farming, think of the specialized knowledge it takes to navigate our system of loans, crop insurance, grants, and USDA programs. It's incredibly complicated. You need the skills of an accountant, a financial advisor, and a lawyer. Then add some experience in political science and public administration. Oh, and these days, you need foreign policy expertise in case we get into a trade war with China and they stop buying our soybeans and rice and poultry. You want to know in advance so you can plant milo and wheat, because knowledge is power. You also need to be smart and shrewd with your financial plan. As you well know, the commodities markets can be a dangerous place to invest, whether you put all your eggs in one basket or whether you spread them out in several baskets. In fact, right here in Arkansas, we are trying an important case of commodities fraud, the Turner Grain case. a group of Lonoke County farmers lost about $5.5 million for 832,000 plus bushels of rice taken from their farms. It was delivered for export, but they claim they never received payment for their grain. Turner Grain was a dealer in Brinkley, Arkansas. It closed in 2014 when federal regulators found no rice in grain bins that were supposed to be full. The company has filed for bankruptcy in federal court, listing $14 million in assets and $47 million in debt. The bankruptcy of Turner Grain just goes to show you that a little bit of knowledge is a dangerous thing. They knew enough to operate $1 million business, but it didn't last. I won't say any more about the Turner Grain case because some of you may be parties in the litigation. It's complicated. Even if it were apparently a simple case, it would be improper for me to talk about it. But I will say this. Our judicial system is filled with smart people who use their intelligence the wrong way. I mentioned El Chapo earlier. Al Capone was a smart man, but he died in prison. Every day, our criminal justice system processes the cases of people who understand that knowledge is power. But they didn't know right from wrong. Doctors get in trouble because they prescribe opioids for profit. Accountants get in trouble because they cook the books to help themselves or to help others avoid paying taxes. And we know we have politicians who got in trouble with the law. The ones I've known who got convicted of fraud and corruption were pretty smart men. They just didn't know as much as they thought they did. They didn't know right from wrong. And if you'll excuse my grammar, if you don't know right from wrong, then you don't know nothing. It's really pretty simple. Knowledge is power, but only if you use it for the right purposes. Building up the community, teaching others. That's why I have so much respect for the faculty at the School of Agriculture, Fisheries, and Human Sciences. They share their knowledge through events like this year's 64th Annual Rural Life Conference. 64 years is a long time. A lot of smart guys have gone to jail in the past 64 years. However, even more people have learned to navigate the complex systems of agribusiness from the faculty and staff at AM&N College and now UAPB. In the past 64 years, the School of Agriculture, Fisheries, and Human Sciences has shared a lot of knowledge. Hundreds of people have learned valuable insights from these conferences, and they went home and shared what they learned. In so doing, they empowered the communities where thousands of people live and work. If I were a mathematical genius, I'd like to calculate how many people and how many communities have benefited from UAPB's rural life conferences. The numbers would be impressive, but even Albert Einstein couldn't accurately measure the positive difference that this conference has had in better educated people and stronger communities. I've looked over the agenda for today, the workshops that you are going to be participating in, and they're impressive. And it is my hope that you learn today and take back to those communities that you come from. I know you are all ready to get started, so I will come to a close. Thank you again for inviting me to share in the excitement of this day.
Please join me again in thanking Senator Flowers for a very inspirational message, because truly, knowledge is power. Part of my task is to present this medallion to Senator Flowers. Chancellor, will you help me to do that? Now, this is not given out every day. I know only very special people get this, so I'm honored to help to present this to her. No, I don't think you did. That's okay. No. Thank you. And also, black and gold has always been one of my favorite colors. I want you to know that. And we have a gift for you also. So thank you again, Senator Flowers.
Thank you. Thank you.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Please be patient with me. I'm a little nervous about these presentations. I have to present for two of my mentors. The 64th Annual Rural Life Conference is dedicated to Dr. Leslie Glover. You can applaud. And Mr. George Richardson. Conference honorees are chosen because of their contributions to the University of Arkansas at Pine Bluff, the School of Agriculture, Fisheries, and Human Sciences, and the rural community. Dr. Leslie J. Glover served for more than 39 years at the University of Arkansas at Pine Bluff. He was instrumental in developing the 870-acre UAPB farm site near Lonoke, Arkansas, into the Pearlie S. Reed Robert L. Cole Small Farm Outreach Wetlands and Management Center. He was also responsible for the creation of the 50-acre Agricultural Research and Demonstration Center near Marianna, and cleanup activities at the 70-acre Holiday Tree Farm site near the town of Whitehall, Arkansas. Research and demonstration activities that benefit small, limited resource farmers are conducted on these sites. Dr. Glover has approximately 20 years of teaching experience in the areas of plant science, introductory soils, soil fertility, soil survey and classification, and soil and plant analysis. His professorial rank includes assistant professor, associate professor, and professor of agronomy. Dr. Glover obtained 20 grant contracts and cooperative agreements for more than $20 million during his career. He has a bachelor's degree in environmental science and a master's degree in soil and plant science from Alabama A&M University. He earned a doctoral degree in plant nutrition from the University of Massachusetts Amherst. Dr. Glover was continuously involved with the Rural Life Conference over the years. He chaired the conference for several years during his tenure as chair of the Department of Agriculture. Former U.S. Secretary of Agriculture Dan Glickman was the keynote speaker for a conference Dr. Glover chaired, which saw record attendance. Dr. Glover also served on the Rural Life Conference Exhibit Committee for 10 years. Dr. Glover's organizational affiliations are many. Dr. Glover has been married to Mattie M. Glover for 45 years. They have 6 children: Sandra, Geraldine, Leslie II, Leonardo, Catherine, Samuel, and 10 grandchildren, 1 great-grandchild. Dr. Glover serves as a deacon at the Old St. James Missionary Baptist Church in Pine Bluff, Arkansas. Please give me a round of applause, a roaring round of applause for Dr. Leslie J. Glover. The University of Arkansas at Pine Bluff 64th Annual Rural Life Conference presented to Dr. Leslie J. Glover for outstanding service and leadership at the University of Arkansas at Pine Bluff, and is signed by Dr. Lawrence B. Alexander, our Chancellor, Dr. Dozie Y. Butler, Dean, School of Agriculture, on February 21st, 2020. Dr. Glover. Thank you so much. Mr. George Richardson served as the U.S. Department of Agriculture 1890 Program Liaison Officer at the University of Arkansas at Pine Bluff for 25 years. In that position, he worked with and supported the university's Office of Career Services. Upon graduation from Blevins Training School in Blevins, Arkansas, Mr. Richardson enlisted in the United States Air Force for 4 days before the start of the Korean conflict in 1950. After spending a year in the U.S. and receiving aircraft and engine mechanics training, he spent the remaining 3 years of his tour of duty in Germany, where he served as crew chief on F-86 fighter bombers. Richardson returned to the U.S. in 1984 and continued his education at Arkansas A&M College, now UAPB, where he majored in agriculture and received a bachelor's degree in agriculture education. He graduated 5th in his class in 1958. Mr. Richardson started his agricultural career as a vocational ag teacher in Emerson, Arkansas. He was the first to teach the subject at the school, and he was able to set up his shop in classrooms so that all classroom activities were completed during the morning activities. In 1963, his agricultural career continued at the Farmers Home Administration, now the USDA Rural Development, for which he served as Assistant County Supervisor, and Assistant District Director. He was designated as State Appraiser for Multifamily Housing in 1982, and in 1985, he became the first African American community and business loan specialist in the nation. Mr. Richardson has many major accomplishments to his name. In the early 60s, he worked with the East Arkansas Vegetable Growers Association and was instrumental in developing the first unincorporated loan in the nation under the authority of the Economic Opportunities Act. In the 1970s, he achieved the second highest dollar amount, $14.7 million, for the greatest number of accumulated loans in the state. Mr. Richardson attended the first Rural Life Conference and never failed not to participate. He promoted the conference, UAPB, and USDA wherever he went. He served on the conference task force, as well as recruitment, dedication, and workshop committees. He was also instrumental in inviting USDA speakers to participate in the conference that included Dan Glickman. Mr. Richardson is a native of Hempstead, Arkansas. He was married to Joyce Mosley Richardson. He has 4 children: Kyle, Kirk, Joyce, Trellis, Richardson, Lambert, and Ronald. And he has 5 grandchildren. He was a member of the Union Valley Baptist Church in Scott, Arkansas. Mr. George Richardson. Thank you so much.
Honorable Stephanie Flower, thank you for your inspiring and motivational speech. Our beloved Chancellor, you always show us the way. honorable participants, your presence and active listening have made this session a success. An applause for you. We always want to serve you better, so we would look forward to your feedback. The form which is given to you, please fill up and hand it to our volunteers so that we can serve you better next year. We have showcased our knowledge and these technologies outside in the lobby. Please see that one. We have 30 exhibits. UAPB, its partners, federal and state agencies have showcased their technologies, knowledge shops, and other things. You would be surely having life-changing information and technologies for you. We have showcased our knowledge and technologies through the posters. There are altogether 25 posters in the lobby. We invite you to see that one. We have been organizing 10 workshops and 2 day-long workshops in the lobbies. So the location of those workshops are in the last inner page of this booklet. So please have that one and join us there. Finally, I would like to invite you also to join us for the lunch in the banquet hall, and also to request you to save your date for this recognition and award day, April 3rd, which would be the School of Agriculture, Fisheries and Human Sciences Day on April 3rd. We look forward to meet you there. Thank you very much. Thank you. Have a great day.
I just wanted to mention that, as we all know, most of you know, I believe, Mr. George Richardson transitioned a year or so ago, receiving the acknowledgement in his behalf was his daughter, Joyce Richardson Lambert. So let's give her a Thank you, Ms. Lambert. I just want to reiterate what Dr. Deb has just said. Please refer to pages 13 through 30 for information about today's workshops, exhibits, and poster abstracts. A map of the convention center detailing the location of the various sessions is on the inside back cover of the booklet. The luncheon will convene in the banquet hall at 12:30. Our luncheon speaker is Deputy Director Jacqueline Davis Slade. We are tickled pink to have her as our speaker this afternoon. You will certainly want to hold on to the luncheon tickets that you received in your registration packets. Again, thank you so much. Enjoy your day, and we'll see you during lunch.